G'day, it's George Bayaruthi from FS Securities, a stockbroking firm on the Gold Coast in Queensland, Australia. And this is part 6 of my CFD series. And by the way, if you missed out on the first 5 parts, all you have to do is call me and I'll actually make sure that I send them to you. So first of all, let me once again explain to you what CFDs stand for. They're contract for difference. Why do we like contract for difference? Because they're leveraged, and leverage means we can amplify the profit if we are right. Of course, if you are wrong, then the small outlay that you're going to put into a CFD contract can be wiped out. But provided you are disciplined enough and you've got stop losses, trading stop losses, then obviously you can protect yourself against major losses. You must understand what it means to have risk and reward in your trade, and what is the ratio between the reward to risk. This is something we will explain to us in our program, our education program that we run on a continuous basis. Anyway, we started with $500, and I actually initially chose a very small amount to open CFD account, just to show that you don't need tens of thousands of dollars to trade CFDs. However, you must understand, as I said, the risk and reward. And by the way, for my case, if I was to lose the full $500 in one hit, I know that this is not going to affect my lifestyle. Anyway, the $500 within only a few weeks became $1,500, and you will see that in part 1 to 3. I then added an extra $3,000 to make my capital more flexible, and with $3,500 I'm going to show you how trading the British pound versus the US, and also the ASX 200 index and a few other stocks, we managed to make some decent profit, well above the $3,500 that we outlaid initially. Okay, so very early in the piece with $500, how did I increase my $500 to nearly 15? Well, on the 26th of June, you can see here I've put $500 and opened the account. I've traded a company called Appen. It's an IT company, very progressive, and it's an Australian company but trading all over the world. And we made some decent profit by forecasting the direction it was taking. We entered at 27.09, and within a very short time we sold it at 29.16. We went back into the market, we bought more Appen, and we sold at a higher price. And as I mentioned, we ended up having nearly $1,500 out of this account. But there was another company called Perseus, and Perseus is actually a mining company with trading gold. Again, we bought 2,000 CFDs at 61.5 cents, and within very short time we managed to actually sell it and make some decent profit. Okay, so you can see here we've added on the 5th of August $1,000 on top of the 500. Remember, before we put the 1,000, our market, our capital gone up to nearly $1,500. But the reason why we put an extra 3,000 at 3 different dates, we wanted to show you that as you've got more money in your CFD account, you have a lot more flexibility, and that's the reason why we did it. Now today, in part 5, we can show you that our account had gone up from 3,500 to 4,814. We made 37% profit in a very short period of time. So again, trading the British pound versus the US, and also doing some trade against the ASX 200. Here are again the account and the various dates that we put the money in. Today, by the way, the account is worth $5,818.64. That is 66.3% profit. And again, that's from May till only this morning, which is a Sunday, and today is the 8th of September. Okay, so let me see how we did it. Initially, we looked at the British pound and we started to read signals. The signals that I'll show you here are the signals I teach you in my education program, how to pick the entry point, the exit point, and when I tell you it's actually not a good idea to trade at all. So at least here I can show you that we've seen some bullish signals. By the way, my education program highlights there are 8 important indicators, and you need to have at least 5 out of 8 indicators with 2 time frames. So if you're an investor, we look at the monthly and the weekly. If you are a very aggressive trader, we look at the daily and the hourly. So we pick those signals and we trade accordingly. This is another charts where you can see here the moving averages cross over. The orange line happens to be the 50-day moving average. The pink is the 100 and the black is the 200. And these have extremely important significance when one crosses the other, either upward or downward. So we managed to pick up various signals here, bullish signals, bearish signals, or whatever, depending on what the combination of at least 5 out of 8 indicators on 2 time frames telling us what to do. Today we have only one position left, and today is Sunday, and we have sold 50,000 British pound against the US at 1.23237, and at the time when I did this presentation or prepared it, you can see that the sell and bid and ask were below our entry level, and we were making $284 profit at this stage. Now there is a good chance that on Monday morning, that's tomorrow, we may actually close it as we see the market opening and get some more information about what is going to happen in the UK with the various election and the Brexit issues. So whilst we look at technical analysis, we shall never forget the various criteria, the various macroeconomic criteria that can affect a market up or down. So these are all our British pound versus the US positions. As you can see, from the 23rd of August all the way till the 6th of August, and right here this is the last position that we've entered on the 6th yesterday, and we sold 50,000 at 1.23237 £1 versus the US, and luckily within a very short time we started to make money, profit, $284 as I showed you. So our position today with 3,500 outlay, our account today is valued at 5,818, 66.3% profit since May. So that's not a bad effort, is it? And of course with CFDs you can be small, or you can be medium size, or you can be a very large size, and provided you diversify, we can give you the tools, we can give you the education, and we can help you to be disciplined. Then you have the TED philosophy, which I explained to you during my education programs. Again, signals are very critical to the way we trade. We can look at the signals and we say we are bearish. We've got here the stochastic moving upward above the 20% line, and as long as it stays above the 80% line, we seem to be happy to remain positive. And then when it starts to drop and continues to drop, then we start to take a bearish position. Of course, beside the stochastic, you have to combine the stochastic with other indicators. Here we have, by the way, a lot of moving averages. Collectively, the short-term collective moving averages in relation to the long term can give us a very good indication about how the market is likely to move. So if you want to learn about it, please talk to us. Finally, in finance, a contract for difference, you have to have 2 parties into that particular contract. You need to have a buyer who thinks that the instrument or the stock or whatever foreign exchange is going to go higher. You are buying, expecting to make money as the price go higher. The seller, on the other hand, takes the opposite direction, and he believes that the market is likely to go down. So versus the buyer and the seller, there is a contract with two different opinions. One of them will be right, and of course the other person will be a loser. And of course the profit that you make is actually the loss that the seller is likely to make if the buyer is right and the seller is wrong. Now, you need to understand there is absolutely no guarantee in trading any instrument in finance that everything you're going to do will turn into gold, into profit. It is very important to understand your risk and reward, and also to be disciplined. If things don't go your way, you need to know before you enter the trade at what point you're going to get out. Okay, so you want to learn about CFDs? Well, all you have to do is call me. And again, CFDs are leveraged products. They have no expiry date because we also teach options, and options is a very different instrument to trade and more complex, more rewarding. But however, now we're focusing on CFD, no expiry date. They mirror the price movement into the stock, into the share. And by the way, because I don't know your financial circumstances, remember, we have a disclaimer. And before you take any action, please call us or talk to your professional advisor. We don't know your circumstances, your financial circumstances, and obviously we don't know what is your risk appetite. So again, this is our disclaimer. And if you have any questions, all you have to do is call us. And here we've got our information. You can write to me directly, george@fssecurities.com.au. You can call me on my mobile as well. I'm available almost 20 hours a day. 61 for Australia. You don't need the 0, that's the mobile number. 61-411-259526. Happy trading, and hopefully I can help you to make money.